In my mind, for me, concerning my preferences, I would still like to see them use that on a receiver. I think the receiver room needs the most retooling on this team overall. I think they need to add somebody in the draft and they need to add somebody in free agency there because Donovan Peoples-Jones, while I think he can be successful on this team and in the NFL, was not put in some of the best positions. And I just think that room needs retooling. He needs to be given a chance to succeed where he can, and that just isn't at an X receiver spot. I think that's what the Browns need more of. That being said, there are lots of things that can happen. There are trades that could happen. There's free agency moves that can happen that the Browns might not ultimately need that number 13 pick on a receiver. And in that event, I would potentially like to see them go the edge rusher route. A guy who I have been a fan of there is David Ojabo out of Michigan. Ohio State fans are probably familiar with him. He showed up in all of the big games this year for Michigan. And for me, what's so intriguing about him is he hasn't been playing football that long. So he still has a lot of room to grow. I believe he only started playing football later in high school. So he's still fairly new to the game. And you look at some of the numbers he put up, the way he can get to a quarterback, a guy like that could potentially be intriguing. And again, there's a lot of questions, I think, about what Jadeveon Clowney is ultimately going to decide to do. But you want somebody who can play strongly alongside Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett likes that sort of competition, I think. So overall, there's a couple different routes I could see them going at pick number 13. But I think for me right now, wide receiver is still at the top of my list in wanting a really premier guy out of this draft in the first round.